The Stoic Discipline of Bruce Wayne? In the darkness of Gotham's nights, when criminals lurk in every shadow and chaos threatens to consume the city, one man stands as an unbreakable fortress against the storm. But here's what most people don't understand about Batman. His greatest weapon isn't his martial arts mastery, his cutting-edge technology, or even his vast fortune. It's something far more profound and ancient. Bruce Wayne embodies the principles of Stoicism so completely that he might as well have been trained by Marcus Aurelius himself. Today we're going to uncover how this fictional character demonstrates real philosophical wisdom that could transform your life. By the end of this exploration, you'll see why Bruce Wayne isn't just a superhero story, but a masterclass in Stoic discipline. The tragedy that shaped Bruce Wayne began on a night that would have broken most people permanently. Picture this. An 8-year-old boy watches his parents murdered in front of him, their blood pooling on the cold pavement of Crime Alley. Most children would be consumed by trauma, spending their lives as victims of that single moment. But Bruce Wayne chose a different path, one that the ancient Stoics would recognize immediately. Epictetus, who himself knew the pain of slavery and physical disability, taught that we cannot control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond. Bruce Wayne internalized this lesson without ever reading a single page of Stoic philosophy. Instead of allowing his parents' murder to make him a victim, he transformed it into his source of strength and purpose. The young Bruce could have chosen countless responses to his trauma. He could have retreated into wealth and comfort, drowning his sorrows in luxury. He could have become consumed by rage, turning into the very type of criminal who killed his parents. He could have spent his life paralyzed by fear, never again venturing into the world that had shown him such cruelty. But here's where Bruce Wayne demonstrates the first pillar of Stoic wisdom. He focused entirely on what was within his control. He couldn't bring his parents back. He couldn't undo that terrible night. But he could prepare himself to ensure no other child would suffer as he had. This decision represents one of the most Stoic responses to tragedy ever conceived, even in fiction. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations that the universe is transformation, and our life is what our thoughts make it. Bruce Wayne understood this intuitively. He took the raw material of his grief and forged it into something purposeful and strong. He didn't deny his pain or pretend it didn't exist. Instead, he alchemized it into resolve. But Bruce Wayne's Stoic discipline extends far beyond his origin story. Consider how he approaches fear itself. The ancient Stoics taught that fear is nothing more than a judgment we make about future events, and that by changing our judgments, we can overcome fear entirely. Bruce Wayne doesn't just overcome fear, he weaponizes it. When Bruce chose the bat as his symbol, he was applying pure Stoic methodology. He had been afraid of bats since childhood, making them a perfect representation of facing what we fear most. The Stoics believed that we should regularly expose ourselves to discomfort and fear to build resilience. Bruce literally became the thing he feared, transforming his weakness into his greatest strength. This transformation required incredible discipline. Bruce spent years traveling the world, learning from masters of various disciplines. He studied with the League of Shadows, trained with the world's greatest detectives, mastered dozens of martial arts, and pushed his body and mind to their absolute limits. This wasn't just physical training, it was Stoic conditioning of the highest order. Seneca taught that every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Bruce Wayne had to let the frightened, privileged child die so that Batman could be born. This process of deliberate self-transformation through disciplined practice is at the heart of Stoic philosophy. The Stoics didn't believe in wishful thinking or hoping for change. They believed in the systematic cultivation of virtue through daily practice. Look at how Bruce Wayne approaches wealth, one of the greatest tests of Stoic character. He possesses virtually unlimited resources, yet he lives with remarkable restraint. His personal quarters are Spartan. His clothes, outside of his public persona, are simple and functional. He doesn't indulge in the excesses that wealth typically brings. Instead, he views his fortune as a tool to serve his mission. This mirrors the Stoic teaching about preferred indifference. Wealth isn't good or bad in itself. What matters is how we use it. Bruce Wayne demonstrates perfect stoic detachment from his wealth while simultaneously using it as effectively as possible for his chosen purpose. He's neither attached to his money nor does he reject it out of false piety. He maintains the perfect middle path that the Stoics advocated. The way Bruce Wayne handles relationships reveals another layer of his Stoic discipline. He forms deep connections with Alfred, the various Robins, and other allies, yet he's prepared to lose them all if necessary for the greater good. This isn't coldness or lack of caring. It's the Stoic understanding that attachment to outcomes beyond our control leads to suffering. Marcus Aurelius, who was both emperor and philosopher, understood the loneliness that comes with responsibility. Bruce Wayne embodies this same burden. He makes the hard decisions that others cannot make, bears the weight that others cannot carry, and maintains his moral center even when surrounded by corruption and compromise. But perhaps the most remarkable aspect of Bruce Wayne's Stoic discipline is his relationship with justice. The Stoics believed that justice was one of the 4 cardinal virtues, along with wisdom, courage, and temperance. Bruce Wayne doesn't pursue vengeance, despite having every reason to do so. Instead, he pursues justice with a clarity and consistency that would make any Stoic philosopher proud. Think about this carefully. Bruce Wayne could easily kill the criminals he encounters. He has the skills, the opportunity, and in many cases, the moral justification. Society might even thank him for it. But he maintains an unwavering commitment to his moral principles. He captures criminals and turns them over to the justice system, even knowing that many will escape and cause more harm. This represents the highest form of Stoic discipline, acting according to virtue regardless of consequences. The Stoics taught that we should do the right thing simply because it's right, not because of what we might gain or lose. Bruce Wayne lives this principle every night he puts on the cowl. His famous rule against killing isn't just a character quirk, it's a demonstration of Stoic wisdom. By maintaining this principle even in the face of extreme provocation, Bruce Wayne shows that he understands what the Stoics knew. The moment we compromise our principles for expedience, we begin to lose ourselves. Consider how Bruce Wayne deals with failure, another crucial test of Stoic character. Batman doesn't win every battle. Criminals escape. Innocent people die. Plans go wrong. Yet he never allows failure to break his resolve or change his mission. He learns from each setback, adapts his methods, and continues forward. This resilience comes from understanding what the Stoics called the discipline of desire. We suffer when we demand that reality conform to our wishes. Bruce Wayne has trained himself to want what happens, in the sense that he accepts reality as it is and works with it rather than against it. When a plan fails, he doesn't waste energy lamenting the failure. He immediately begins working on the next solution. The Stoic concept of memento mori, remembering death, is central to Bruce Wayne's character. His parents' death taught him that life is fragile and finite. This awareness doesn't make him morbid, it makes him focused. He knows that every night might be his last, so he makes each night count. He lives with the intensity that comes from truly understanding mortality. But Bruce Wayne's greatest Stoic achievement might be his ability to inspire others. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Bruce Wayne takes this further. The best response to evil is to create good. Through his example, he transforms others. The various Robins, Batgirl, and other allies all become better versions of themselves through their association with him. This is the Stoic concept of virtue as its own reward taken to its logical conclusion. Bruce Wayne doesn't fight crime for gratitude or recognition. He often works in the shadows, receiving no credit for his victories and taking blame for his failures. He does the work because it needs to be done, and because he's capable of doing it. The discipline required to maintain this standard is extraordinary. Every night, Bruce Wayne faces death. Every night, he confronts the worst aspects of human nature. Every night, he sees suffering that could break a lesser person's spirit. Yet he continues because he has developed what the Stoics called an unconquerable soul. This isn't natural talent or genetic superiority. It's the result of daily practice in Stoic principles. Bruce Wayne has trained his mind just as rigorously as his body. He has developed the ability to see clearly in the midst of chaos, to act rationally when emotions run high, and to maintain hope when others despair. The ancient Stoics taught that we become what we repeatedly do. Bruce Wayne proves this truth every night. Through countless repetitions of courage, justice, wisdom, and temperance, he has become these virtues incarnate. He shows us that character isn't something we're born with, it's something we build through conscious choice and disciplined action. What makes Bruce Wayne's story so compelling isn't his gadgets or his martial arts skills. It's his demonstration that human beings can rise above their circumstances through disciplined practice of philosophical principles. He shows us that tragedy doesn't have to define us, that fear doesn't have to control us, and that we can choose to become forces for good in a chaotic world. The Stoics believed that the path to happiness lies not in external circumstances but in our internal responses to those circumstances. Bruce Wayne embodies this teaching completely. Despite experiencing one of the worst tragedies imaginable, despite facing constant danger and loss, he has found a way to live with purpose and meaning. His story reminds us that we all have the power to choose our response to whatever life brings us. We may not be able to afford high-tech gadgets or intensive martial arts training, but we can all develop the mental discipline that truly makes Bruce Wayne formidable. We can all learn to focus on what's within our control, to transform our fears into strengths, and to serve something greater than ourselves. Bruce Wayne shows us that the highest form of strength isn't physical power but moral consistency. In a world that often rewards compromise and expedience, he maintains his principles regardless of cost. In a society that celebrates revenge, he chooses justice. In circumstances that would justify despair, he chooses hope. This is why Bruce Wayne, despite being a fictional character, offers us real wisdom. He demonstrates that Stoic principles aren't just abstract philosophy but practical tools for living with dignity and purpose. He shows us what's possible when we commit ourselves completely to virtue and refuse to let circumstances determine our character. The next time you face adversity, remember Bruce Wayne's example. Ask yourself, what would a Stoic do? Focus on what you can control. Transform your obstacles into opportunities. Serve something greater than your immediate desires. Act according to your highest principles regardless of the consequences. Bruce Wayne's greatest lesson isn't about fighting crime or overcoming fear. It's about the incredible power that comes from disciplined commitment to virtue. He reminds us that no matter how dark the night becomes, we can choose to be the light that drives back the darkness. That choice, and the discipline to act on it consistently, is what makes us truly unconquerable.